Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and as many of you know who are subscribers, I used to be a divorce mediator well over 20 years ago. I got into this. We're not Western psychologists. We're not Western therapists. I reinvented marriage, and we've been doing this for, like I said, 20 years or so, and we have a lot of successes for people. And if you're not a subscriber, I really encourage you so you learn the right things about marriage, because Western psychology is not about improving marriage. It's about discussing problems, and we're about taking your marriage to the next step. And this topic is the real language of love, because there's this movement, you might say, someone wrote a cool book about languages of love, and it's nice, it's sweet. I didn't read it, but from what I understand, but it's the surface, you see. It's like looking at the surface of the ocean and talking about the ocean and all of its attributes, when really what's going on with the ocean is not the surface and not even the weather that's affecting the ocean. But think about it. The ocean in some places is 30,000 feet deep, goes way down. It has currents, it has volcanoes underneath, and it's all about what the ocean truly is not found on the surface. How you speak to your spouse with the language of love is not about love, usually. It's unfortunate, but we have come in our society to a place of where we imagine love to be an increased like. I challenge you, look it up. What's the definition of love? Or they'll talk about emotions. They'll call love an emotion. And you probably think, yeah, it's an emotion, but it is not an emotion. An emotion is part of the software in the mind. What is love is something that you've experienced, like at a wedding, when there's that moment when all of a sudden your heart is bursting. Or if you have children and you watch them sleep and all of a sudden your heart is just bursting. Or when you have that moment with your spouse and you're so connected, your heart is bursting. Your heart, it's here. Your heart, that is love. That doesn't have an external language. And if you were to pretend and speak to your spouse in a language of love, no matter how well it's put together, you could be Shakespeare, it is not going to carry the force of true love unless that true love is predominating your consciousness. You see, if you're angry, you don't have to pretend to be angry. Now, you should never be angry, ever. But you hear what I'm saying? When you're angry, what comes out is the language of anger, right? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to go, okay, what can I say that's going to be really angry? No, it comes out. When you're feeling that depth of love, and you don't allow the mind to take over, because it always wants to, because the mind cannot experience love. So when the heart is open, and what comes out, not just words, but mostly deeds. What are some of the things that happen when you're feeling love towards someone? You're very supportive, right? You're very grateful. You're very caring. You're very complimentary, and you don't have to think. Now, if I am complimentary, she or he will think that I love her or him. You don't have to think when you are something. Your behaviors, including your speech, are natural. They're natural manifestations of the real deal. And when that exists, it doesn't matter. You could make a mistake. You could step in a hole you didn't know was there. Maybe you said something that he or she heard sometime and left a little phobia thing in their minds, and it doesn't matter, because the love that you have will just keep going, and you will know without thinking, and this is the key, without thinking what to do next. You see, thinking only gets you into trouble. Loving will never get you into trouble. Because when you love, you're tapping into the ultimate source of love. You can't create love. That's why they have a book, The Languages of Love. Because the languages of love are an outer manifestation. It's on the surface. And, you could discuss it and intellectualize about it. I bet it was written by a man. And you could talk about this is how men communicate, this is how women communicate, this is how dogs communicate. But love manifests in a natural way that doesn't need to be interpreted, doesn't need to be concocted, doesn't need to be analyzed, because it's coming from the heart. Sometimes that is just a smile. Sometimes it's just a look of love. Sometimes it's silence and just enveloping your partner in a sea of love that you're manifesting from your heart, liquid love, and it just envelops your partner, and it is so beautiful, and they do feel it. They do feel it. And they don't have to be right next to you to feel it, because love has no boundaries, none. Space and time don't exist for love. Love is ever present. Love is all there is. Or as the Beatles say, all there is love. So my suggestion to you, first of all, is to subscribe to this channel so you really learn about it. And don't learn the languages of love. Learn to cultivate devotion. Learn to cultivate love. Feel your spouse in your heart. Let it take over your life. We are intended, when we're married, we are intended to learn to love unconditionally and to feel the associated joy that comes with that. That's what we're supposed to do. It's this amazing gift of God's that we have marriage. We also have this amazing gift of God called free will. We know we get married for love. We know we get married for happiness. Why on earth would we do anything other than that? Don't learn languages. Learn how to open your heart. So I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. I do hope this you heard. It is a language of love that I speak because I love you. I love everyone who comes to us. I love all. And we at the Marriage Foundation do this as an act of love. It's not contrived. It's because we know how to make marriages work, and we want everyone to have the greatest marriage possible. Some of you, therapists, clergy, marriage coaches, have been following, and you want to learn how to be a TMF counselor, and that is now possible almost. In a couple of weeks, you'll be able to sign up, and you will be able to get a course. I can't meet with people one-on-one anymore, or my last group was about 25. I just can't do that anymore. We're getting too big, and we want to have counselors, TMF counselors, all over the world. We are getting people from as far away as Africa, Portugal, Spain, New Zealand, Australia, the United States, Alabama. Everywhere people have been hearing this, and they're writing in and they're saying, let me know when it's available. So we want you. We want you to be part of the TMF family. So thank you for visiting. Thank you for letting me bend your ear a little bit with my language of love. God bless you, and take care. Thank you.